Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 13 in the NKJV for May the 13th, 2023. A wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. A man shall eat well by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the unfaithful feeds on violence. He who guards his mouth preserves his life, but he who opens wide his lips shall have destruction. The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. A righteous man hates lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and comes to shame. Righteousness guards him whose way is blameless, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. There's one who makes himself rich, yet has nothing, and there's one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor does not hear rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked will be put out. By pride comes nothing but strife, but with the well-advised is wisdom. Wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. He who despises the word will be destroyed, but he who fears the commandment will be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to turn one away from the snares of death. Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the unfaithful is hard. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool lays open his folly. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a faithful ambassador brings health. Poverty and shame will come to him who disdains correction, but he who regards a rebuke will be honored. A desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools to depart from evil. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. Evil pursues sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. A good man leaves inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of a sinner is stored up for the righteous. Much food is in the fallow ground of the poor, and for lack of justice there is waste. He who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him promptly. The righteous eats to the satisfying of his soul, but the stomach of the wicked shall be in want. Again, echoing themes of if you're diligent, you'll have plenty. If you're diligent, you won't lack anything. If you're lazy, you'll want. You will be hungry. But today, man, it's been a battle just to keep my trap shut. I have failed overall, let's say, because I can almost never keep my trap shut. But I've done my absolute best to just throttle it back and to choose my words and choose my battles. It's been a rough day for everybody, and being harsh with everybody does no good. So, trying to lead by example and not do that. And I'm trying to accept instruction where I can get it. So thanks to all the radio preachers today, that I heard and spoke to me, essentially, or spoke to my heart. He who guards his mouth preserves his life. So let me preserve my life instead of destroying it, with my own mouth. And then there's one who makes himself rich yet has nothing, and one who makes himself poor yet has great riches. So, I want to be able to be giving to people and to be able to bless people and not withhold the little bit of wealth that I do have. So, I'm trying to manage my money well, I'm trying to hustle. Sorry, tried to film with better light, but just missed it. Went way, way out on a route today, or second route just now, and thought I could play beat the clock. I should have just pulled over and got it done in the nice light, but apologies. And help me to not be proud. I don't have a whole lot to be proud about, but Lord knows there are so many warnings on it. So let me be humble, let me operate in humility, and that's what I've got today. Not a whole lot. A desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools to depart from evil. So I think that speaks to planning and setting goals. It's a good thing. Sorry, I'm probably sitting in the way of everybody else, so I should have moved. And they just flipped the lights on, so all of a sudden I have better lighting where I'm at. Too late now. And a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of a sinner is stored up for the righteous. I think that also goes with like planning your estate and planting your estate. So, what's the saying? A wise man plants trees that he won't live to sit in the shade of. Something like that. You get the point. It's an investment. So, much food is in the fallow ground of the poor, but for the lack of justice, there's waste. I feel like that translation, if I recall, is different, and that it basically this is saying there is much food. So essentially, like when you see community gardens in the waste areas between buildings and stuff, or between areas of subdivisions, it depends on the country or the place we're talking about, that those can be really productive and really good, and in fact necessary for a community. But often, as was the case here, you have a developer swoop in and say like, hey, thanks for making that land awesome, and thanks for cleaning it up and getting the trash out and putting fences and maybe some art, thanks. And then they take it back, or they take over the lease from the city in one case, or just so many other things, where a developer was allowing it, but now it's nice enough that it looks like we should sell it. And I mean, look, developers should be able to make some money, but at the same time, like, you got to look at the good of the community and the planning. Suburbia, everybody with their lawns, not working out. So a tangent, but one close to my heart. So he who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him promptly. So I'm not going to do that per se, but I'm heading home now so I can go be the dad and get everybody in bed. And hopefully get everybody up for church for Mother's Day tomorrow. But it might be a breakfast in bed, church from home kind of day. And then maybe we hit house church if mommy's up for it. So we'll see. Treat your mom right. Call your mama in the morning. If you live with a mama, take care of her. Go with God. Be blessed.